All right, everyone, welcome back to another video. Today, I was at work and I was wondering what people thought about the Classic. And so I just started, looking at some YouTube videos and just listening while I was doing stuff. And it felt like I was the only one in the world that actually enjoyed the event. And everyone else just seemed to be kind of complaining, apart from a few, of course. There's a few positive people out there in the community that always stay positive and look at the better sides of things. But I just wanted to make a video here today and just talk about the event. And I thought it was great. I thought it was exciting. And I know there's others out there that felt the same. And I know there's a lot of people that didn't. And I just wanted to talk about my opinion and why I believe it was a good event. But also, I just wanted to talk about the excitement of the actual tournament. We're coming in, it's day 2, and everybody pretty much thought the event was over. Everybody pretty much thought the event was over after day 1. Day 1, Trey McKinney, he had a big lead, and he was really on him. Everybody thought, he's so dominant. Everybody just thought, well, it's pretty much over. Next day, Fothergill comes in with a mega bag, and all of a sudden, the tables have turned, and he was up like 8 pounds going into day 3, and everybody thought it was over. It's getting real close to the end of the day. Fothergill's only got 4 in the live well. Ounces are going to separate them. And Fothergill, right before the live broadcast cuts off, he catches an 8-pounder to secure the win. If you don't think that's exciting, I don't really know what is, because it was that close. They were both going to come back to weigh-in, biting their fingernails, waiting to put those fish on the scale. But I thought it was super exciting. It's not often right at the end of the tournament somebody secures it like that. I really respect Fothergill's win with him going through that surgery last year. I remember all that happening. I remember watching that college bracket and watching him win that, and that was already incredible. And then he wins 2 opens the next year. He gets in the elites. He has 2 terrible tournaments, but bounces back, wins the Classic. That's a story that dreams are made of, that magazines have him on the cover. That's what movies are made of. Like, the guy didn't even know if he was ever going to really fish again. He didn't know what was going to happen to him, and he made it back, and now he's won at the top level of sport in the highest event in bass fishing history, the highest level, and he'd won. And I just thought that was incredible, and I really respect that. I know a lot of people were complaining about the numbers at the weigh-in, and I do think that's a problem that might need addressed, because it did look like numbers were down a little bit. But there's other factors that go into that. There was parking. You had to park. I believe I heard it was about $40 or so to get in, and people might not have wanted to pay for that when they already basically knew who won because of Bass Track and being able to see everything live. So I do understand that. But from what I heard, the expo is great, and obviously I'm not down there. I'm out here in my shop, but I heard it was great, and I heard there was a ton of people there, so that's always good. It's always good to see people showing up, see people showing out to support the biggest celebration of bass fishing in the whole year. So, but I do think one thing that probably made people feel like it was a bad event was that there wasn't that much action on live, because it just wasn't, the fish just weren't biting. Guys, you had the leader after day 2 who had just dropped a mega bag, almost a 30-pound bag, and he only had 4 fish with 30 minutes left before he had to be headed back. And so if that doesn't tell you it's tough, then I don't know what does. But when there's not that many guys catching, there's only a couple guys that have a camera that they can actually show anything on the broadcast. So if they're not catching fish, they don't have anything to show, because the guy's locked in. He's fishing. He can't just be constantly talking the entire time. They can talk a little bit, but it takes you out of that mindset. It takes you out of that zone. Their nerves are going. They're not trying to talk to the camera. Guys, they're locked in. They're trying to win $300,000, and it's what they worked towards their entire life. Thousands upon thousands of hours of getting better and perfecting their skills have all come down to this. And if they're not catching fish, there's not something they can say all day. So that's why they had all these different people on the broadcast. That's why it seemed like there wasn't a lot of action. And there's really nothing that bass can do about that. If the guys aren't catching fish, they don't really have anything to show for anything. mean, it's just, that's what the whole shebang is. It's all fishing. So if there's not fish, then they've got to resort to something else, and that's what they did. And I thought they did a good job of that. But it was really an exciting event, and I was super surprised to hear all these people that were online complaining about it, because it was a great event. It came down to the wire after nobody thought it would after day 2. Nobody thought this tournament was going to be close, and it ended up being that close. And if Easton didn't have that last fish, like I said earlier, I mean, the guys would have been coming back. I mean, it'd have been so close. It'd have been within ounces. And there's nothing better than that. I mean, 2 guys battling it out that close, 2 young guys just coming in, 2 big names coming up. I mean, 2 legends. These guys are gonna be legends. I mean, these are 2 of the best in the entire country and the entire world. And they're 2 young guys. I mean, you got a 22-year-old and a 20-year-old standing up there next to each other, looking at that scale to see, is this bag gonna be big enough? Which we all already pretty much knew it was gonna be big enough. But that's besides the point. And knowing the story, why is that not covered more? I mean, it really blew my mind, because I was like, man, this was such a great event. You know, I mean, I watched the whole day 3 weigh-in from my house. I wasn't even in the arena, and I was entertained. I mean, I don't know. People do say weigh-in takes too long, days 1 and 2, and I can see that. You know, a 3-hour weigh-in, I wouldn't really necessarily want to go sit in that for 3 hours. But, you know, when those top guys do weigh in and somebody brings in a big bag, you know, it is really exciting to me. So yeah, guys, I know it was a little bit of a short video today, a little bit different out here in the shop. Trying to get you guys weekly uploads here soon. Next week, I'm gonna make a video about Livescope and team tournaments and some secrets that you guys aren't even going to have ever heard about. So I'm excited to make you guys that video. And guys, let me know what you guys thought of the Classic. Did you think it was too dominated by Livescope? Did Livescope hurt it? Did it hurt the numbers? I thought it was a great event. I thought it was an exciting event. Let me know what you guys thought down below.